Welcome to yoga. Today we're going to focus, we always focus on the breath, but today we're going to focus on moving with the breath, which means some vinyasas, which the definition of which is one movement, one breath. But also in our held postures, we're going to be focusing on the inhale, the exhale, and certain very subtle actions that happen with the inhale and the exhale. So come to your mat, and it also will be great if you have a wall nearby. I kind of made a screen here that I'm going to use for the wall. You don't need it, but you will need a block. And a wall, if you have it, can make, we're going to do Ardha Chandrasana, which is a standing balance pose that can be greatly aided by having a wall nearby, but you can use a block as well. So come onto your mat in your favorite position for centering. So that could be seated or supine. If it makes a difference, we're going to begin our asana practice on our backs. So find your place to transition from outer to inner into the sensations of your body, the feeling mind. And close your eyes. If your eyes are closed, that makes it much easier to tune into the sensations and what's going on inside your body. And just take about a minute on your own, in your best way, to find out where you are this morning, physically, mentally, emotionally. Just check yourself out without judgment. Very important. So during practice, we start where we are on all those levels, and at the end of practice, you can see where you are then. So as you're finding out where you are, if you come across any place that feels tight or hard or tense, just relax all around your face, your jaw, your neck. And bring your awareness to your breath, and again, just see how your breath is flowing on its own without your conscious intervention. We're going to be focusing a lot on moving with the breath today, and I just read a couple of articles over the weekend, one in a newspaper, one in a magazine, about the importance of breath. And this is something that ancient people, not only yogis, but religious people and all kinds of people, wise people, before scientific methods were advanced like they are today, knew or intuited the importance of breath. And now, because we are studying why the breathing is important and the positive effects it can have on mental and physical health, these ancient beliefs are being supported by modern science. So bring your attention to your breath, and we're going to begin just gently building up to a slow, deep, even breath where your exhale, is twice as long as your inhale. So perhaps you start counting a full inhale. So we're going to be breathing deeply. So start with a soft belly, and breathing deeply means that your diaphragm will descend for causing your belly to rise a little bit as it pushes against the organs there. And then exhale, it will move back toward the center. So on your inhale, you could start very simply matching it to a count of 2. I'm sorry. Your inhale would be a count of 2, and your exhale would be a count of 4. That's right. Exhale twice as long as inhale. You can do any ratio there. You could do 3-6, so whatever's comfortable for you. Just aim to have your exhale twice as long as your inhale. And make sure that this is comfortable for you, that it doesn't cause you to accumulate tension in your jaw, shoulders, neck. Just keep it relaxed with minimal effort. So in one article that I read, they focused on 2 parts of the breathing that are important and have been studied. And one is the slow, deep inhale and exhale. So a slow, deep breath that uses more of your lungs, and many of us breathe are just shallow breathers, filling just about 1/3 of our lungs, just breathing into the chest. So practicing as we do in yoga, bringing a maximum expansion of the lungs, bringing in more air. Deep breath, slow breath. The slow part is what activates the parasympathetic nervous system and calms us down, especially when the exhale is longer than the inhale. That sends a message to your body that everything is okay, you can relax, get out of the fight or flight response. And then the other part is breathing through your nose. So the air you breathe through your nose is filtered, protects you from, filters out more germs. Really helps not to snore. And you bring in, studies have shown, 18% more oxygen when you breathe through your nose than when you breathe through your mouth. Now there are times when you can't get enough oxygen that way, when you're exercising heavily, for instance. But in yoga practice, it's advised to breathe in and out through your nose, and to breathe slow, deep, and even, or in the pranayama we're doing right now, we are extending the exhale. That would be the kind of breath that you would do if you were trying to calm down, decrease anxiety. Now bring your hands to your, not to your belly, but to your lower rib cage. So place your hands there so the fingertips just barely touch. So we're going to practice a breath that is very similar to belly breathing, but it's diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to take a light tone in our abdominal area, light tone in the lower core. So that's just gently bringing your navel in and up, very gently. So what this does, it prevents the diaphragm from, or the diaphragm is now pushing against a little resistance of those muscles, causing the attachment on the lower rib cage to spread the rib cage out. So that's just increasing the space in your upper abdomen, your chest, so the lungs expand more, giving them more expansion. So as you have your fingertips touching on the inhale, imagine your lower ribs spreading out under your arms as well as up. Your fingertips will come apart just slightly, and on the exhale, they will move back together. So just take a few rounds here. You can let go of the longer exhale here, just give you one less thing to think about, but do keep a slow, deep, even breath and a light tone in your low belly. So your inhale, feel the rib cage expand out. It can't expand in the back because if you're lying on your back, but if you're sitting, it's also expanding out behind you, 360 degrees. If you're on your back, the rib cage is expanding out to the sides and out to the front. So this is diaphragmatic breathing, and it's because we engage the core so often during our asana practice, when it's not, you can't have a relaxed belly, so this diaphragmatic breathing allows you to have the core support and also breathe very deeply. It engages the accessory muscles of breathing, not just the diaphragm, but the muscles between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Make 2 more rounds here. Slow, deep, even, being aware of the rib cage expanding in 3 directions or all the way around if you're seated. And then just let go of that pranayama and take a few moments to create an intention for your practice. And we're going to begin our practice, as I said, on our backs. So come into a supine position, flat on your back with your legs extended. Arms start down by your sides. So start by flexing your feet. So as if you were pushing into the floor, just lightly press your feet out away from you. That activates your legs. Spread your palm base. Press lightly into the mat. So you've got your Pada Bandha, your Hasta Bandha, your foot lock and your hand lock. Now we're going to move to our breath. So the next time you come to an inhale, as it begins, begin to take your arms up toward the ceiling and back overhead, so that when your inhale ends, that's when the tops of your hands come to the floor. Then as your exhale begins, your arms come back up and reverse the arc, coming back down by your sides at the end of the exhale. So the focus here is letting your breath initiate the movement. So do that 3 times. Inhaling your arms up overhead. Slow, deep breath, slow movement. Exhale, back down by your side. And then after you've completed 3, take another inhale. Arms go back. And this time when you come to an exhale, bring your right knee into your chest, take a hold around the thigh or the shin, squeeze it in on the exhale. Then inhale, straighten the right leg out, arms go back up overhead. Exhale, draw the left knee into the chest, squeeze it in. Now keep matching your movement to your long, slow breath. We'll do 3 times on each side. Be really mindful of the breath initiating the movement. Now when you come to the 4th time, draw both knees into your chest on the exhale. Hug both knees in, maybe rock a little bit on your sacrum. And then bring your one hand on each knee. And best way for you, start to make circles to open your hips up, but we're going to match this to the breath also. I like to circle my knees in opposite directions, but you could do both in the same direction. But have the movement away be an inhale, and the movement back toward the chest be an exhale. So we're going to do 3 times in each direction. Inhale out, exhale back. And when you complete 3 in one direction, reverse the direction, but stay with your breath. This opens the shoulders a little bit too. And when you complete 3, let your feet come down to the floor mat, knees bent, arms are by your side. Spread your toes, press down lightly into your feet. Spread your finger bases, press down lightly into the mat. We're going to do moving bridge. So inhale, press into your feet, bring your arms up over your head, just like we did at the first one. And exhale, lower back down, 1 vertebra at a time. Hips come down with the hands. Match it to your breath. 2 more times. Inhale up, arms and hips. Exhale down slowly. And when you complete 3, inhale your hips up 1 more time, arms overhead, and hold for 3 breaths. Keep pressing into your feet, tuck your tailbone, energetically move the knees together if they tend to splay out. And on the 3rd exhale, bring your arms down, bring your hips down. Hug your knees into your chest and rock right and left. And then either come onto your side or rock yourself up into all fours, onto all fours. Hands, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your finger bases. Press into the tops of your feet. And we're going to start with a 3-breath vinyasa. So start in tabletop, lengthen out through the crown of your head, through your tailbone, so flat back. On an inhale, bring your right leg up, flex your foot, press back through your right foot, so your thigh is parallel to the mat. Exhale, bring your knee toward your nose. Inhale, lengthen the leg out again, foot still flexed. Exhale, knee out to the side toward your right elbow. Inhale, right leg back, point your toe. Cross the right leg over the left and turn to look at your right toes. We'll do that 2 more times on the right side. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, knee to nose. Move with your breath. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, back, point. Exhale, cross over, turn to look, side stretch. And 1 more time. Inhale, straight back. Foot flexed. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, slow. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, back and point. Now this time, when you turn to look, hold this for 3 breaths. Inhale, breathe all up the right side of the body into the stretch. Exhale, might stretch a little bit more. And then bring your right knee back, and we'll do this exact same thing on the left side. So, actually, yes. Okay, inhale, left leg back, foot is flexed, reach back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, back, point your toes. Cross over the right leg and turn to look. 2 more times. Stay with your breath. Let your breath initiate the movement. You can use Ujjayi breath if that helps you. The 3rd time you cross the leg over, pause for 3 breaths. Bring the left knee back and let your hips come back into child's pose. Circle your wrists out, whatever feels good. You can rest your head on your arms. You can have your arms out in front or back to the side, but just take a few breaths here, resting, letting go, sinking down as much and fast as you can. Notice here though that the front of your chest is compressed, so now when you're taking the inhale, the breath is expanding your back ribs. You're breathing into your back heart. And come back to all fours. And we're going to do 3 earth salutations. So make sure your foundation is firm. Fingers are spread. Press into the tops of your feet. Start with a cow pose on an inhale. So belly drops, chest drops. Then exhale, round your back and bring your hips back over your heels, child's pose. Now as you inhale, scoop your chest up through your arms. And then exhale, tuck your toes, come back up into downward facing dog. Inhale, knees back to the mat, cow pose. Exhale, extend, flex your spine back into child's pose. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, round back up into downward facing dog. 1 more, just like that. Stay with your breath. And this time, the 3rd time when you come into downward dog. Stay here, hold the pose. You can, if you feel like some movement here, you pedal your feet. You can take a real deep bend in your knees, press into your palms, lift your tailbone up toward the ceiling, and then gradually straighten your legs. So do whatever your body's asking for as you hold this pose, but keep your breath slow, deep, and even. Neck is soft. You can shake your head yes and no. And then bend your knees and walk your feet up to your hands so you come into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Let your upper body hang down. Bend your knees as deeply as you want to. You can take hold of opposite elbows. You can hold behind your knees, but let your upper body just hang and breathe. So see what it's like to take a slow, deep, even breath in a forward fold. Your rib cage is going to be moving out to the side. It's going to be moving out to the back, making room so the lungs can get all that air. Now in your next inhale, come up halfway, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold. Then inhale all the way up. Palms touch and come down to your heart space. And we'll build our mountain pose. Feet are hip width apart or closer. Toes pointing straight ahead. Lift and spread your toes. Lay them down gently and press into the four corners of your feet. Activate your legs. Take a little tuck. Lightly activate your core here. Lift your heart. Let your shoulders come back and down. Shoulder blades together. Externally rotate your arms so the palms face forward. Spread your finger bases. Activate your arms and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Soften your face. Soften your jaw. Let your shoulders come down from your ears. So keep pressing lightly into the earth and down with your arms and up with your head. But let go of any effort that you don't need to stay stable here. And come back to your breath. Take several slow, deep, even breaths through your nose. Your core is engaged lightly here, so as you're breathing in, your rib cage is moving out. As you exhale, shoulders move down, just melt down from your ears. And if you've got your eyes closed, open your eyes. And on the next inhale, arms come up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward into forward bend. We're going to do half sun salutations with chair. Inhale, set your hips back, come up into chair. Any arms you like. Exhale all the way up, arms around. Two more, just like that. Inhale up. Move with your breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, strong core, chair, strong legs. Exhale. One more. Now inhale into chair and just hold chair for 3 breaths. Feel your foundation, strong feet into the floor, hips are back, weight is in the heels more. You can have your arms on your hips or to your heart center. One more deep breath. And then come all the way up and hands around to Anjali Mudra. Now face the long edge of your mat and step your feet wide apart. Feet are parallel. Hands on your hips. So spread your toes, press down equally into both feet, establish your foundation, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Then tilt your tailbone and come forward, shoulder blades together on the back. You can put your fingers in your hip creases. Keep your back straight, and when you've gotten down as far as you can straight, then you can round and bring your hands to the mat or to a block. You might be able to move your feet a little further apart and come into a wide-legged forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. You can do some half lifts here. We're going to do a twist. If twisting isn't right for you, you can do half lifts. You can just hold on to opposite ankles. So take your right hand and put it under your nose, fingers pointing to the left. On an inhale, bring your left arm up. Now, your gaze can go up to the left hand. My gaze is going down because I have an issue with my neck. Okay, then exhale, come down. We're going to do that 2 more times, moving with the breath. Inhale, left arm goes up. Shoulder opens, exhale down. 1 more time. And this time hold for 3 breaths. And then left hand comes down, under the nose, fingers point to the right, and inhale the right arm up. So exhale down. So 2 more times. The 3rd time, hold for a couple more breaths. And then your arm comes down. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up halfway, strong flat back. Take a breath. And then inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Step your feet together. Continue to face the long edge of your mat. We'll just do 1/2 sun. Inhale, arms go up. Moving with the breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And hands down to Anjali Mudra. Okay, now step your feet wide apart. Now here's where you might want to be at a wall. So I put a screen here. So a block or against a wall. Not for the first pose. The first pose is going to, you can use the wall for the first pose, but Trikonasana, so triangle pose. So I'm going to do it, you can do it next to the wall, but I'm going to do it on the mat. So your feet are wide apart. Pick up your left heel and rotate it back toward the corner of the mat, and then rotate your right toes toward the short edge of the mat, the front edge. I'm going to put the block right inside my leg. Now your legs are straight, so press into both feet. Square your shoulders to the long edge of the mat. Bring your arms, reach up overhead, and then bring your arms down to shoulder height. And on an inhale, reach out and side bend. Let that right hand come to somewhere on your leg, or it can come down to the block. Left arm goes up. So your shoulders are stacked over each other. That's where you're headed. Take your right hip and tuck it under your body, and you don't want to collapse down. So you want your spine to be reaching out through the crown of your head, straight as you can get it. If that's not good for your arm, you can always have your arm on your hip. So find the comfortable place. Keep bringing your left shoulder back. Gaze can go up, straight, or down to your foot. So let's find the breath here. Every inhale, you're going to press down into your feet and lengthen out through the crown of your head. Exhale, soften. So find the right amount of effort as you hold the pose. So you're not clenching, that you can be stable but easy, the way we talked about last time. And then on an inhale, come back up, and we're going to go right into Ardha Chandrasana. So I will go back to my fake wall. So for Ardha Chandrasana, you want the block, you're going to stay in the same configuration with your feet and legs as for Trikonasana, and put the block about a foot or a little further in front of your right foot, and you can be a little bit out from the wall, but you'll know the wall is there, so that really gives you some confidence. So I'll show you what we're going to do. You're going to bend your front leg a little bit, kind of drag up the back foot. Come over, hand to the block, and then gradually open your chest, reaching out through your left leg. You're trying to stack your hips and your shoulders. So you're not parallel to the floor. Your hips are one above the other, your shoulders are one above the other. You're pressing out through your left foot and down through your front foot, only lightly into the block. And if you've got the wall there, it really makes you more confident. Then to come out, you bend your front knee and come back. So if you were just watching, we'll do that again together. So your front right toes are pointing forward, left foot is a little angled. Bend the front leg and slide, your left hand is on your hip. Gradually drag the left foot up. Reach down with your right hand and perhaps up with your left. So your left foot is flexed and parallel to the floor. Your gaze can be down or out. Come back to your breath and bend your front leg and gently come back down onto your back foot. Woohoo! Okay, then we'll do the other side. So step your feet wide apart. I'm going to try to do this on the mat, but you do whatever you want. I might fall over completely. Step your feet wide apart. This time you're going to turn your pivot on your left toes, so your right heel goes back, left toes go forward, legs are straight. Press into your foundation. Arms first come up overhead and then out shoulder height. But let's actually put the right hand on your hip. Then on an inhale, reach forward and side bend so that that left hand comes to your thigh or the block. Stack your hips, let your right hand come up, Utthita Trikonasana. find your breath here. If it's hard to breathe slow and deep, you need to let go of some effort. You don't have to go down so low. So if it feels better to be up high, that's great. And perhaps as you breathe and soften, you might be able to go down. But what you don't want to do is bring your chest over toward the floor. So find the place where your chest can be open, spine straight. That's the place for you. And then inhale, come back up. If you're using a block, move it out in front a little bit. Bend your left knee and just drag, right hand is on your right hip. Drag your back leg up. Begin to bend forward toward your block or wall, floor, whatever. Bring the back leg up. Flex the foot and then open up. Move slowly. Oh, okay, and then, if you can do it better than I did, bend your knee and come out with control. And then just shake it all out. Back and forth, back and forth. And then come back into mountain pose. So this will be our decompression here. Come back to mountain pose. Lift and spread your toes. Press down into your feet. Open your chest. Arms out to the side. Exhale through your mouth. One more time. Now inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. It's another way to let go of some tension. So find stability and ease right here in mountain pose. Come back to your breath. Every inhale, just imagine your chest expanding, lungs expanding, filling with that wonderful air. Exhale out everything you don't need. And then come to the front edge of your mat. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, step back into downward facing dog. One breath here. Then inhale your knees to the mat, bring your feet out to the side. Come onto your seat and down onto your back. Bend your knees so your feet come to the mat by under your hips. Arms out to the side, palms face up. Begin a few rounds of windshield wipes. So inhale in the center, exhale both knees over to the right. Inhale center, exhale left. So keep moving with your breath. You can bring your neck into the twist. You can have your feet wider apart. You can even have your feet off the ground, keeping your legs zipped together as you move side to side. So find exactly what you need today to kind of compensate for the poses we've been doing. Rebalance. whichever side you move to next, pause there for a few breaths in stillness. See if you can release anywhere on your exhale. Your face, your neck, your arms, your shoulders, your hips, your glutes, somewhere. Then inhale your knees back to center, exhale to the other side, and balance this side out with the first. Notice any differences. And back to your breath. Inhale, lengthens and broadens. Exhale, softens. And then bring your knees back to center and come into Shavasana. So whichever way you like to do Shavasana, as long as it's symmetrical, comfortable, and minimal effort. The bolster under the knees can feel good. Eye bag is great. Or try a way that you haven't tried before. So as you settle in and close your eyes and kind of make any minor adjustments that you need, just remember that Shavasana is a very important pose. So I don't like to cheat the time on Shavasana. I think it's very important. But it's a time when you feel supported, so feel your body supported wherever it is, held up and perhaps the whole length if you're on your back. Just feel the earth supporting you. Let go of any effort that's not needed, which is pretty much every effort. And surrender. What you're surrendering to, you're surrendering your effort, but you're surrendering to what is. You're surrendering to everything just as it is with each breath in this moment. Accepting. Feeling supported, safe, and enough. You are enough. Now just one more word about that. Surrendering to what is doesn't mean that you don't have the power to change or transform anything within your power to change. But in order to make a change, you have to accept where you're starting from. So, let everything go. Be right in the moment, aware of everything attaching to nothing. Gently bring your awareness back to the space. Awaken your body slowly. Come back to your breath. Go back to a slow, deep, even breath. Awareness of your breath. And make your way onto your side. Side child's pose. Look at yourself. See where you are at the end of practice. Notice if you've discovered something new about yourself. Remember your intention. And then use your arms to come up to a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. A few more moments just for you to kind of bring the practice into closure. So come back to your breath. Follow your breath for a couple rounds. Slow, deep, even. Being aware of the movement of the breath in your body. And I invite you to bring your hands, palms together at your heart space. Bow lightly. Bow to your efforts, your willingness to take this time just for yourself, to stay present, to stay with your breath, to move with your breath, to let go of your thoughts, and when they intrude, to keep coming back to your breath. And my hope is that in this time of masks, where we're breathing with masks, I know when I come out of a store, I take that thing off so fast and breathe in the air. Just be aware of the gift of being able to be outside, especially where we live, which is in a densely packed city with poor air quality. Of your ability to be out in nature, in a park or in your yard or someplace where you can really take deep breaths and just celebrate that fresh, wonderful air and the gift you're giving your body when you breathe deeply, evenly through your nose. And I hope that you will be aware of your breath and breathe more deeply all the time. The light that is in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste. So thank you for practicing yoga today virtually. And I hope you'll come back next week or do this practice again and again. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.